Bro, I don't even know who needs to hear this right now, but God can do it again. God can do it again. God is not intimidated by your mistakes. God is not intimidated by your mess ups, your shortcomings. This past 30 days, I contemplated so much about giving up on God. Like, I there was at least 5 or 6 days that felt like I was at my breaking point. But I want to encourage you, because I've been at that breaking point of like, do I keep going forward? Do I turn my back on God? Do I turn my back on what God is doing in my life? And do I go back to the things of my past? Do I go back to those old ways? And I am here to tell you, to encourage you today, God can do it again. I am seeing God just be God. I'm seeing God give me peace where I was carrying so much weight, so much hurt, so much envy, so much jealousy, so much um, just unforgiveness towards myself, towards people, towards my circumstances, towards even God himself. Um, I I was talking to one of my brothers, Chris, and I was explaining to him that it's these moments where it's like I feel like there are things that you wanted God to do, or there are things that you were expecting God to do a certain way, and when he doesn't do them exactly how you wanted, how you prayed for, how you expected, how you fasted for, how you had envisioned in your mind, when he doesn't behave that way, when he doesn't allow you to control him, when he doesn't allow you to manipulate him into doing things your way, you can get frustrated. You can get upset. Like, God, this is how you're supposed to do it. God, this is what you're supposed to do. And again, these last 30 days, I've learned so much. Some of this learning had to come through suffering. And I do think that suffering sometimes is the best teacher. A lot of times we're at that pinnacle of getting to the next level, right? The Bible tells us that we move from glory to glory. And I think sometimes what we have not grasped, and I'm speaking for myself, is that sometimes suffering is part of the glory, right? Romans 8, it talks about, for I reckon that this present suffering is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us. And I think you sometimes you say that verse, or you've heard that verse. Like, I've said that verse so many times, but in my life right now, I'm learning what that verse actually means. That there is a weightiness, there is a glory to your suffering. And I think the second that you start to see that God is using your suffering either to test you, to build you, to mold you, to use you as an example, as a demonstration for other people, even for yourself, to even create new belief in you, to create new trust in you, to create new depth in you, to create a deeper relationship in you. Whatever it is that he's doing, it's for a reason. And I have to be mature enough to understand that God can see some things that I cannot see. That God is moving and playing at a level that I can't even comprehend. And so if something is off, it's not him, right? That I have to understand that if something is off, then it's in me, right? If something is wrong, that it's in me. And so for so long, I was just frustrated with God. Like, you're not doing what I told you to do, right? You're not doing what I want you to do in this moment. And I'm so grateful that he didn't do it that way. I'm so grateful now at this moment, having this revelation that suffering is part of the glory. There are things that I've learned over the last 30 days that I would not have had the vision for, that I would not have had the wherewithal to see through without some of the struggles, some of the setbacks that I've had over the last 30 days. And so if I could leave you with anything, I want you to know that, number one, that God can do it again. You have not gone too far where he cannot restore you. Like I said, I was talking to my brother Chris. I believe that there's 5 levels to breakthrough and transformation. The first level, and I'm not going to go through all of them in this video, because that's not what this video is about, but the first one is like the denial. Like, you don't think your situation is bad as it is. And then there has to come an opportunity where you have an awareness, like, God, I can't keep living like this. I can't keep going through some of the things that I'm going through. Like, I need you to step in. And this is where we start to surrender. God, like, however you want to do it, however your way. You want me to post a video with my face, I'll post it. If you want me to post it without my face, I'll post it. I'll do whatever you're calling me to do, if it means that I don't have to stay here, if it means that I don't have to be in this spot any longer, right? I think a lot of times we're waiting to go to the next level, but there's obedience instructions that we have not done at the level that we're on, and God is waiting for us to commit, to go all in on what he's already laid out, not because he is looking for us to strive, or he is looking for us to do something in our own strength, but it's a response to his word. It's a response to knowing and having a certainty that he's already finished the hard work. All you have to do is show up. I remember this April, we talked about sweatless victories. I believe that we're still in that season of having sweatless victories. Yes, there are physical things that you will have to do to show up to receive your victory. Part of me doing that right now is making this video, encouraging you, while I personally continue needing encouragement, right? But what God has assigned me to do is to encourage you. And so I have to encourage myself, and then I get on here and then I encourage you. And I know that even as I'm speaking, I'm already feeling God move inside of me. I'm already feeling God move in my situation. I'm already feeling God move in my circumstance. And so I want to let you know that God can do it again. He is not a respecter of persons. He is also the author of repeat performances. God, he's a God who moves in patterns and protocols, and a lot of times I believe it gives him pleasure to see us have that inkling of awness, like God really did this thing again. Like, he really blew my mind. Like, I didn't see how it was possible for God to show up, or I didn't see how it was possible for God to get me out of this, but he still did it. And then my faith grows, my belief in him grows, my trust in him grows, my boldness for him grows. All these things are a result of like seeing God do what he says he's going to do. And I believe, again, we know that 6 is the number of man. We're in the 6th month right now. I believe like God is calling us to let go of ourselves. We're so consumed with ourselves. We're so consumed with performance and checking boxes that I believe God is stripping a lot of those things away from us so that we can just focus on him, that we have absolute certainty and clarity that it was him who did the heavy lifting. That was him that did the hard work. That was him that went before us, that knocked the doors down, that opened doors for us, that moved on our behalf, that whispered our names in those conversations, that made sure that we were sitting in the right rooms, that made sure that we made those right connections, that made sure that people saw our videos, people saw our content, people saw our website, people responding to our businesses. Like, again, like God is the one that's orchestrating everything. And again, all we have to do is the easy part. All we have to do is show up. All we have to do is just believe that it's already done. And that's been the thing that I've unlocked in the last 24 hours, is like truly understanding that if God has said it's finished, if God has already said it's done, then it's done. And even if this is the third time, the fourth time that you've been in a situation like this, understand that God is a good Father. That yes, there are things that God may challenge you to change about what you're doing. There are things that God may challenge you to begin to do things differently, or begin to see things differently, so you're not back in the same place again. However, at the same time, God is a merciful God, and no matter where you are, no matter how you've ended up where you are, God can restore you. God can lift you up and take you further than you've ever been. And many of you right now, again, you may be going through something similar. You may be in a moment where you feel like you're having your own personal breakdown. Understand that if you want to experience breakthrough, there will always be, I've seen, a breakdown that's connected to the breakthrough. There's usually some type of breakdown that's connected to the breakthrough. And so I want to encourage you, God's going to do it again. He is exactly who he says he is. I am in awe of him every single day. Today's devotion was about resting in his promise, coming out of Hebrews chapter 4. I believe that we have to truly do that. If God said it, if God declared it, if he decreed it, we believe it, we receive it. And for me as a man, I know that sometimes it's hard to receive God's goodness, especially if you haven't had an earthly father, if you haven't had people to love on you, that type of love. I'm experiencing a new type of love, a new depth of love from God, that I feel like I'm learning how to be comfortable in it. And yeah, that's all I got. I don't want to ramble. I don't want to talk too long. I pray that in some way that this video resonated with you in some type of way, that it spoke to something that you're going through. Obviously, there's 22,000 of you guys. There may be a little bit for you and maybe a little bit for somebody else. But if you made it here to the end of this video, thank you so much for being a part of what we do. We've been serving this community for the last 2+ years, and I plan to continue to do so unless God said the same. Under this video, in the description, there will be like giving information if you feel led to give in some type of way to support us to continue to bring you content like this. It would be a tremendous blessing to us right now, so that we can continue to bring you what God is bringing us every single day. And so with that being said, God bless you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.